Hey everyone, this is Luke again, and welcome back to yet another Ninjago video onto the channel today. I know, it's been so long since I made one of these actual videos. It's crazy. And honestly, I really need to start picking it up on more. I am very sorry, you guys. Um, but as final year of the channel's existence, and I'm gonna try my best. Maybe I might extend it another year, but again, who knows? Um, but for today's video, I hope I haven't done one of these, and if I did, I'm very sorry. But for this video, I want to talk about something I discussed over in the Ninjago fandom wiki, because yes, I do have an account there. That's like the only other Ninjago place I can talk to without getting judged by a bunch of other people, because the whole community is just too judgmental for anyone and anything nowadays. And that is to talk about the Ninjago Serpentine War, and well, the first one, not the second one that we saw in Tournament of Elements, but the first one, the one that Wu and Garmadon fought in when they were teenagers or young adults, I should think. But basically, it's why I think after Dragon's Rising is done, they should focus less on the current cast and more so on the past. I rhymed and I didn't even realize. But basically, I think they should make a series solely on the Serpentine War. And here's why. There's a lot of questions that we don't necessarily know about the Serpentine War, like how long it lasted, or what was going through in the minds of both like the Anaconda side and the human side, and even the mastermind Chen, who was playing both sides like he was Emperor Palpatine. And as one commenter, I think his name, I hope, or their name was Brandini N. Adapting the Serpentine Wars in their entirety can be a good way to convey several messages to the audience, including the consequences of war, systemic racism, trust, etc. This would also open the door for the Garmadon and Shatterspin comic adaptations. And I did post about this on the Ninjago wiki, and I said basically the same thing. After Dragon's Rising concludes, I believe Ninjago should go back to its roots and make a series about the Serpentine War. Sure, we got some flashbacks and books here and there, but not a full series solely based on it. A big criticism I hear of Ninjago is that Ninjago seems to be ignoring its past. Their words, not mine. What a better way to shut them up than to make a series about the Serpentine War. I want to see what happened to people like Jay's birth mother and Cole's mom Lily, along with many other characters. I just want those blanks to be filled in, and this series doesn't have to be long at all. As long as everything makes sense and the blanks are filled in. I don't see why they shouldn't do this. What do you think? And then some people are like, I'm not sure, but they could make... They don't know about the entirety of the Serpentine War, but they were like, I could definitely see a series about the previous Elemental Masters. But most people were on my side and said, yes, they should do this. Because they would love to see the old Elemental Masters and to see Young Wu and Garmadon. Speaking of them, I want to see Paul Dobson voice Young Wu again, because he was really good as Young Wu. And I wanted to hear more of Mark Oliver as young Garmadon, because we know his old Garmadon voice, but we never hear a lot of his younger Garmadon voice. And I want to hear more of that, if you know what I mean. But I think it should be 3 to 4 seasons, says another user, only because some people may want the ninja back. I understand this point entirely, because I know some people are very attached to characters like Lloyd, to Kai, to Aaron, to Sora. For me, it was Zane, of course. So I understand that they may not want a series that distracts. They may see this series as like a distraction from the true series, which I really don't like that. I believe Ninjago at this point in the franchise history is kind of like what SpongeBob should be doing now, where it just has spin-offs that may be connected to it, but it doesn't necessarily overshadow the main series. You know what I mean? I just don't think it should overshadow or overtake it, but it should be important regardless. Um, we're only in the present, so we still have the past and future to focus on. Future probably when Ninjago ends. I've always wanted this as another user. The Serpentine War is so interesting to me, and they could really delve into each of the characters. The only concern I have is they'll mess up the lore or forget to include stuff that happened in the Shatterspin and Garmadon comics. So yeah, that's another concern that some people pointed up to me when I made that post. Was that they would have to mention stuff like the Garmadon comics, the Spinjitzu Brothers comics, the Shatterspin comics, you know, which, I mean, they don't exactly have to mention them because, Dark Island Trilogy existed. Technically, that's considered canon, but it was never really mentioned in the show besides that one mural for some reason. I still can't believe that for some reason Dark Island Trilogy got a mural, but not Day of the Departed. That always mystifies me. But that's all I really have to say about this topic because I just think the Serpentine War is such an interesting topic that the fact that there hasn't really been anything besides books, and a couple flashbacks here and there, it really irks me because I feel like these things need to be explored more in depth. And yeah, sure, maybe the kiddos won't understand, and I think it's good for us OG fans, and I don't like using that term because I don't want to create like a lot of divide and stuff like that. But I want us fans who grew up with the original to fully understand this, even if, let's say, it's a little out there in terms of plot. Like, again, as I said, it doesn't have to be long. It could be like 4 seasons for all I care. I don't care. It could be 5 seasons, It doesn't have to be as long as the original series. I don't want 15 seasons of this. Maybe like a third of that would suffice. A third of that number would suffice. Because again, there's a lot to unpack, but not enough to be that big, you know what I mean? But again, I feel like this should happen after Dragon's Rising fully concludes. Because I remember Chris Doc Wyatt said in a tweet before he left Twitter to Blue Sky that Dragon's Rising is just a continuation, whereas Ninjago is like a multiverse or a franchise at this point, so it can explore whatever it wants to whenever it wants to. So what do you guys think? Do you think Ninjago should do a series solely based on the Serpentine War? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by clicking on that red subscribe button. And click on that notification bell to see every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. Bye-bye!